all loaded in?
Yes, so it looks like the recording is starting, and we've got about 15 people in right now.
Okay, so we'll hold to see if we have more come in. Okay, hello everyone. We're going to get started in just a few minutes here. We are waiting to make sure everyone who's arrived who needs to be here. So we'll get started in about another 2 minutes. Thank you. How are our numbers, Lauren?
We have 67, 70 now.
Okay, so I'll wait a few more minutes. Okay, everyone, we'll get it started in just a minute. We're just trying to make sure everybody is in. Okay, everyone, we're going to get started. Hopefully everybody's in who needs to be in. Thank you all for being here. I want to start tonight out with a couple of things before we get into the COVID. First and foremost, I want to let everybody know in the community who has signed a statement of no hate in our district that I really appreciate that. The Zoom bombing that happened at our parents' meeting on Friday was unfortunate. But it's been so nice to see the reaction of the community in such a positive way around what happened. So if any of you contributed to that in any way, I just want to say thank you for your support on that matter. I will let you know that we have spoken to the chief of police in Athol, and he is working diligently to try to determine who may have bombed that meeting so that we can deal with that situation. So I really thank those of you who have emailed me, who have called me, who have signed the statement of no hate is truly appreciated. Secondly, I want to let you know that we have a grand opening for our food pantry at the high school tomorrow. We were going to have a formalized ribbon cutting ceremony, but due to the number of cases of COVID in the community, we will not be doing the formalized ribbon cutting. However, we will be open Wednesday from 4 to 5:30. The pantry is stocked for those families who are in need of food. All you need to do is show up during those hours. If you drive to the back of the high school, you will see a dumpster and a new paved driveway. If you pull up to that driveway, there's an entry door right there to the pantry. You can go in and get what you need and then head home. So please take advantage of that. We've put that into place to try to support our families who may be in need. And this will be in effect permanently within the high school. If you arrive at the high school tomorrow, they will give you from this point on what the hours will be. In addition, on Monday, the food pantry will also be open from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Once again, if you go to that back door at the high school, they will let you in and you can get what you need to support your family. I want to say thank you to Dean's Beans. They are a local coffee company who has supported the transportation of the food from the Worcester Food Bank up to the school. I also want to thank Shirley Mitchell and Dave King and the other staff members who have been working hard to make sure this happens, including our maintenance department who helped to refurbish over the room to make sure it was safe for people to get in and out and such. So congratulations to all of you who put forth that hard work, and I'm hoping that some families will take advantage of it. Today has been a hard day. I had to make a decision that was not easy. And basically the decision that I made was we will be in remote learning till the Christmas break. In my letter, I stated it's because of the number of cases of COVID that we have made that decision. We got more news today that we are up to 88 active cases of COVID in the town of Athol and 10 active cases in Royalston. With those numbers, it is difficult for us to do contact tracing and to keep COVID from coming into the building and causing the school spread. So we've had no choice but to shut down at the recommendation of the Department of Public Health and with conversations with our building principals, the Athol Teachers Association, and district officials. It's been difficult, trust me. I'm doing everything I can to try to keep our schools open. We've probably opened the most of any district in and around the state for the most part. But unfortunately, with the numbers in our community, I don't believe it will be safe for our students or our staff to be open. I know already there are a couple of parents asking, well, my child's on an IEP. I need them to be in school. I get that and understand that, but I can't do that at the expense of your child being exposed to COVID. We are only doing it from now until the break. After the break, we will reopen with in-person learning. Special needs teachers will be available in the classrooms to provide support for your child, and they have remote learning plans based on your child's individual needs to support them. If you feel there's still an issue, I suggest you call the special ed department and talk directly to them. Like I said, this has not been an easy situation or decision that I've made. But at the end of the day, I have to look out for the safety of our students and our staff. And right now, the Department of Public Health is loaded with calls around COVID, and they have said to us they haven't been able to catch up and do all the contact tracing. And we know that to be true. We have some cases that happened over a week ago and people still haven't gotten calls. And so we're trying to be really cognizant of that and make sure our school remains safe. I promised everybody in the community that we would do in-person learning as long as it was safe for students. And right now, I don't have indications that say that is the situation. There are some unique situations out there. For those who are in a unique situation and email principals, we have worked with you and given you some alternatives as to what you might be able to do to support your child. And I hope that helps those of you in those situations. We're doing the best we can, and as I said, it's not an easy decision in any way, any stretch of the imagination. But that is the situation. The other thing is my understanding is we're supposed to get a foot of snow on on Thursday. And what I hate to do is we open the school and then we have to close the school again. So with the COVID, with the weather, and not having the contact tracing, it just became clear that we needed to shut down the building. So I apologize if this puts anybody into an inconvenient situation. I get it. Please, if you have a dilemma that we can try to help you with, don't be afraid to call your school and talk directly to your principal, and we'll do all we can to try to help you. At this time, I will open it up for questions. So I'm going to have Lauren come on. If you have a question, you have a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. You can type the questions in there. Lauren will ask me them directly, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you.
All right, so the first question we had, you just spoke to about students who receive IEP services. Another question that came in had to do with whether or not there has been any in-school transmission.
Yes, at this time, we have had no in-school transmission, and that's why we're making the decisions we make to ensure we do not get into that situation.
All right, there's a question about bus delivery. There seems to be buses that are driving by without stopping.
Yes, I did get that on an email today. I am going to, I believe Andrea is in the meeting. If she is not, I'm going to ask Andrea to talk to the bus company and make sure they actually stop, open the door, toot, and then move on to the next bus stop to make sure families know they're out there. They will also be out there earlier during the regular time in which students would be out there to get their bus. So that should help as well, because kids won't be in class and then having to try to run out and get their lunch. So I will get that message out. I thank the person who emailed me today, letting me know that was a concern, and we will make sure the bus company is aware.
The next question, is the plan currently to be in person at the end of the winter break?
Yes, that is the plan, unless again, we get in a situation where there's loads of cases. I'm hoping that won't be the case. I think we will have had enough time from Christmas to the start of the school year that hopefully that will be resolved. But our plan is to open on January 4th with the same model we've been using, in person. Those who want to be remote can choose to be a remote, but we will be back to full in person for those who want to be here.
Another question asking whether it would be safer for kids to stay remote for the rest of the year due to the probability of a surge after Christmas and New Year's.
The dilemma that we have is, will that surge happen? Won't it? We just don't know. And that's why we have to rely on the Department of Public Health. We still believe in-person learning is what is best for students, and we want to try to provide that. But any parent, and I want to make sure you understand this, you always have a right to have your child at remote learning. So it is okay if you make that decision. It is quite all right. That is another vehicle in which you have in this district. That's why we put together choice, which allows you to be in or to be out. And so we will continue with that. So as a parent, if you feel this is not a place I want my child, you can continue with your learning remotely after the holiday. Just notify your principal that that's what you'll be doing.
Will the flu vaccine clinic still happen on Thursday afternoon?
It is not going to happen Thursday, but we will be doing it right after vacation. We will be extending the time in which we require students to do the vaccine because of this. So you should be getting a notification with when that vaccine will happen. Again, it will still be free, but we'll be doing it after vacation. So we're just working with CVS now on a date and time that will work for them to do it after vacation. But we will still be holding it, and we will not hold anybody liable to having their child vaccinated until the end of January to make sure everybody has that opportunity.
What are the kids doing for snow days, and will classes still be held?
We are planning on holding classes at this moment. If we decide to cancel school, you will get a notification like you normally do. The all-call will go out. And if it goes out saying it's a snow day, then your child will not have to log online. I will make that determination based on notification from the community as to whether there are large outages due to the snow. So if there are large outages, we will cancel school. But if there are not, we're going to continue with the remote learning plan. So I will only cancel if I hear that there are large outages in the community.
And following up on that, will the call be made on Wednesday evening or Thursday morning?
It will be made on Thursday morning. And the reason why I'm waiting till Thursday is we're going to be remote anyway. So it's just a matter of letting kids know whether they have to log on or not. So I will be making it Thursday morning because that's when I'll have an idea of whether we're going to have electricity issues.
There was talk of childcare for working parents. Is that still going to be occurring?
We have addressed that with the families who emailed principals already. If you did not email them, that could be a dilemma for you, but I suggest emailing them tonight to see if we still have openings for that. But the families that did email us, there was an offering given to them.
July 4th is currently scheduled to be a half day. Will this still be the case?
Yes, January 4th will still be a half day, correct.
I'm sorry, January, I might have said July. Will teachers be holding extra help sessions with the continued remote learning?
During the remote learning, teachers will be still held to their contract. So it is suggested when your child is in the classroom, if you feel they need extra help, to let the parent know, the teacher know, and then they should make themselves available to you after school hours for that support and give you a link to get there.
Someone would like to know when the Zoom is going to be ending today.
This Zoom, I'm just answering questions now. So I'll be on as long as it takes for the questions to be answered, and then I will get off the Zoom.
If the closure continues past the holiday break, will there be a plan for special education and high need students to be in the building?
Yes, absolutely. We will open with the special needs being in the schools, regardless of the numbers after vacation.
Is there a consideration for instituting a hybrid program in January?
We are not considering that at this time, and this is the reason why. Ultimately, with a hybrid program, we end up in the same problems or areas that we have even if we have an in-person program, and that is if a large number of teachers are close contact and they can't be in the building, it doesn't matter whether it's hybrid or not. I'm still going to have to go to full remote learning. So we're not seeing that as necessarily something that's going to work. The other issue that we see with a hybrid is the cost factor for the district with transportation support and so forth. And then for our families who need to work full time, it doesn't work for them because if a child's only going into school 2 days a week or half a day, it's not solving the problem for our families who need that. And it doesn't solve the problem for our special needs students who need support throughout the day. So the hybrid model, no, we are not looking at it at this time, but I would say if anybody thinks there's a way in which it could work, please email me. I'm happy to consider that with my administrative team, but at this time, we are not considering a hybrid model. No.
Will teachers be teaching from school or home? And if they are teaching from school, will parents be allowed to drop off teacher gifts for the holidays?
Where we are at right now is we have said to the teachers they are allowed to teach from home as long as they have full service to provide streaming for the students. If they do not, they have to come into the building. So there are some that will be in, there are some who will not. At each school, there will be an admin assistant available at the door and answering phones. So if you would like to drop something off for a teacher, you can absolutely do that. And the admin assistant will notify the teacher it's there and place it in their mailbox or in a safe place for them to pick it up.
Will lunches be delivered tomorrow for 3 days as opposed to just one at normal early morning pickup times for all students or for the hour after?
Yes, it'll be the first thing in the morning tomorrow. Buses will be leaving on their regular runs. So the first run for the high school will be first thing in the morning. So whenever the first run usually shows up at your bus stop is when you should be there to pick up your stuff. And then same thing with the elementary school. They will come to the first run and bring lunches and breakfasts. And you are correct. It will be for 3 days. So tomorrow is the only day to get it. If you miss the bus, you are welcome to drive up to ACE's school and they will have lunches available and breakfast available for you to pick up if you unfortunately miss the bus. And we will do the same thing on Monday.
And just to clarify, Monday, it will also be 3 days worth of lunches?
Correct. Yes, lunches and breakfast.
Is there an option available for working parents whose children are not special education after the break is over for coming back in the building?
Yes, we will. As I said, at this point, if you have notified us, we have worked something out. If you have not, I suggest you email the principal so we're aware of it and we will work with you after vacation to get you support. I am hopeful that we won't have to worry about that because I'm hopeful we'll be back with the in-person model. But if we are, it'll be important for the principal to have your name and your information. So please make sure you email it to them.
Will IEP and 504 meetings still continue as scheduled this week?
Yes, they are. So I put it in the memo. IEPs will continue as normal. So if you have an IEP meeting scheduled, you'll go onto your link and they will hold that meeting on whatever day it's scheduled. That is correct.
There's another question about location of teachers. If it snows and teachers can't make it into the building and they don't have the programs they need at home to teach, what will happen with lessons that day?
Yes, what I've said is there are a few cases where that could happen. And I've told those teachers that if that becomes a dilemma for them to let their principal know, and the principal will find a way to make sure that's communicated to the people in that particular class. So we've already have a contingency plan for it.
Will there be IEP services for speech, OT, PT, OG, and Wilson going to be happening online?
My understanding is there are IEPs for students for remote learning, and they will be following them, which includes those hosts of supports. If you are unsure, I suggest calling the special ed office tomorrow and speaking directly to the director or emailing him just to make sure that is the case. But my understanding is those will be supported online as we did in the summer and last year.
Is there going to be work without the Google Meet some days, like the asynchronous work on Monday?
No, our plan is to stream every day.
What is the plan for students needing a para?
The paras will be in the room and be able to provide the student support. So they will be logging on just like the teacher and providing support to that individual child. So once they log on, they will privately chat with that child and let them know how they're going to provide them with their support.
Is there a way to get the times for the bus runs?
If you go online, I believe under bus routes on the district website, you will see it and it will tell you the times in which they pick up and drop off so that you can look there. Let me just double check to make sure that is the case before I put my foot in my mouth. But I believe that is the way in which you can get the bus routes. If there's somebody out there who knows exactly where the families could find it, if you could put that in the chat box so we can give out the information, it would be appreciated. Yes, if you go on to our regular website and you hit parents, you will see bus routes 2021, and then the addresses are there. If you click on the address, it will tell you exactly what time in which they would normally go to your bus stop.
If families registered for the Thursday flu shot, will they need to register again for the postponed date, or will they automatically be registered for it?
I don't know the answer to that question. I will make sure Andrea gets out a notification to you, though, explaining that. I don't know the answer at this time, but we will make sure we get you information out in that regard.
Some parents have children in the district and don't have childcare. If they are remote and teachers are still in the building, can parents have access to do the same one-on-one work from home?
Where we are at is we are saying that people can do the one-on work from home. That is correct.
Has a speech teacher been hired for ARMS and at the high school?
That you will have to call and talk directly to the person at special ed. We do have a speech person. I can't get into the details, but we do have a speech person. But I would talk directly to the special ed director to get that information.
I can actually answer this next question. It's asking if a transcript of this session will be provided. And I believe that a posting of the video will go up on the page shortly after this is over, but unfortunately we will not have a transcript. After that, I believe that we do not have any new questions coming in right now.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, I'm doing the best we can to make sure we're supporting your families as much as we possibly can. Please know and understand there are unfortunate circumstances that I have that happen that I don't know about at this given moment. But as I know them, I will continue to communicate with families. I will try on Monday to be on again for Parent Web in case you have any questions on Monday that are coming to you to try to be helpful in that regard again and make sure I'm accessible. Did another question come in, Lauren? Because I saw the question answer box kind of change.
So will preschoolers have speech services this week? And will that be a regular thing?
I would contact the special ed office to ask that question. If John is here and he can type the answer into the box, that would be helpful. I don't know if John is in the meeting tonight, but if he is, he may be able to type the answers into the question answer box for us. If not, my suggestion is contacting special ed in the morning to get the details on that. But I do know there are remote learning IEPs for students, so they should be providing with that service in some way.
And for this next question, it was where will the video for tonight's Zoom be posted? And Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it will be posted on both the main district webpage and also the Facebook page. For the meals, is the high school bus schedule the only one that's followed for delivery?
No, it's the elementary and the middle school / high school schedule, both of them. So they'll do a run they normally do in the morning first for the high school, middle school, and then they'll do the second run for the elementary. So they will do 2 runs to make sure we can catch the majority of the families. All right, looks like that might be it. I want to again thank everybody for being here. I appreciate your willingness to take part in this webinar. And again, if you have any further questions or concerns, please feel free to email me at the school district or your principal, and we will do the best we can to answer your questions as quickly as we can. Thank you all. Unless Lauren has any more questions, I'm going to sign off.
Instead, I have an answer. Amy Langdon says that students in pre-K will have remote speech services this week and next week.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, Amy. Okay, so it looks like we're in good shape. Thank you all. Have a good evening and a safe next few weeks. Again, I appreciate your cooperation. Have a good night. Lauren, am I still on? Are we all set?
I'm going to stop the recording, and then when I end the session, everyone will be kicked out, including all of us. So that'll be in just a minute.
All right, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.